Live, Laugh, Loot contains foul language, violence, drug and alcohol references, and irreverent humor. So if you're not a fan of all that, then don't watch the show. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Right. It's open.
No, it's Auto City. Come on. It's not Hydrocity, it's Hydro City.
It's Hydrocity because it's one word. Sounds like velocity. You know what velocity is? What Sonic does.
No, Navi, I agree with you. It is Hydrocity.
But the city doesn't move.
There is no city there. That's the problem.
It's barely a city.
I don't know.
No, you're thinking of Toxicity by System of a Down.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, now, wow, I just immediately heard them start playing the dun 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 dun.
Hello, everybody listening out there in podcast land. I'm AyItsGreyJ. We just finished the first season of Live, Laugh, Loot. And by just finished, I mean it's maybe more than a month after we recorded the last episode. But yeah, we're just, we wanted to come together and do a little post-season wrap-up of the Saturnine Nights campaign. Talk about our favorite moments, talk about the characters, and, you know, maybe preview a little bit of what's to come in the future from this podcast. Like I said, I'm AyItsGreyJ. I'm joined with my good buddy Wolfkaosaun.
Hi.
He's here with us.
I know, I'm surprised too.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. GamingNavi should hopefully be joining us. She is currently busy at the moment, but hopefully she'll pop up. Mm-hmm. Like I said, this is going to be a kind of chill postscript to the season. We just wanted to talk about our favorite moments and stuff like that. So I guess maybe we can kind of start there. This campaign as a whole, it was very fun to run. It was very fun playing through it with you two, especially with two new characters. Ozzy being completely new.
Yeah, Ozzy was completely just like you know what? I don't even know how the idea of an ostrich came to mind, but I'm like, I just want to make something that's both normal and not. And it was just I think it was because I was listening to a lot of Black Sabbath around the time, and I was like, Ozzy the ostrich. And then Ozzy the ostrich just sounds like a LA noir type detective. And I'm like, okay. And it was a lot of fun to be him because somebody who has the social cues of an ostrich was a lot of fun to do because it's like, okay, this guy, he doesn't really see a lot of people. And when he does, I mean...
sees a lot of criminals.
A lot of criminals, and also he doesn't hang out with kids. So why not try to get this kid to light something on fire that he can now inhale and exhale? Because boy, oh boy, he has to kill their father.
I do love that the first thing that Ozzy does in this campaign is take on a verbal contract to kill an important NPC.
Yeah, didn't even question it. He's like, well, I mean, all right. To be fair, would he have done it? I mean, there's actually a 50-50 shot.
I think if you had the opportunity to do it earlier, I think it was very possible. You could have done it.
As time went on, it went out the window.
Yeah. I think if maybe you two had survived the first fight with Juggernaut, I think it's very possible you could have tried to actually kill him at the end there.
Yeah.
But a little bit too much time passed.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, I guess we did have our campaign 0 that we reference every now and then, with Wilbur and what have you. I think the difference between that game and this one is Wilbur was a wrecking ball in combat, whereas Ozzy was just a glass cannon.
Yeah, a little bit.
He got knocked out so often. It was just like, well, okay, I'm knocked out again. Oh, I have zombie rabies? Okay.
Yeah, a little bit of a punching bag. And I think that might be because even though Navi had the brawler character, Ozzy definitely kind of stands out as a target more.
Yeah.
But physically, but also was kind of a lot more confrontational.
Right.
So he just kind of invites that damage upon himself a lot more.
It's like, oh, that's a giant ostrich that's smoking? No. And then, obviously, I think my favorite thing, in all honesty, was the interactions between Ozzy and Felicia. I don't get me wrong, I love Loco with a K. I grew to appreciate the Juggernaut and what have you, but the interactions between Ozzy and Felicia it's not even just an immovable object versus another immovable object. It's just, what if we put two individuals who have literally nothing in common other than, oh, you're both kind of like animals, and that's it. They don't get along.
Yeah, so little in common. I may have mentioned this at one point in one of these episodes. I do think that you and Navi did a great job playing off of each other while playing characters who really don't like each other that much. I think it would be easy for a dynamic like that to get tiresome after a while, where it's you're not having fun listening to them bicker. You're just, basically just listening to two people argue. I think you both did a good job that the arguments, while they were frequent, I think they were relatively brief, and also a lot of them were about like such petty stuff.
Yeah, like
there's just like little miscommunications. So it's not like you two were fighting about anything important, where it's just like you want them to just figure it out already. It felt a lot more like a little more old married couple-ish, which
I was gonna say that,
which was fun,
mixed in with like a little bit of like, I want to say sibling rivalry, but like there's a little bit of a rivalry despite not being in the same field of anything. It's just like, oh, you're a detective. Well, you're supposed to know how to talk to people. It's just like going back and forth.
Yeah, and then like you're a cartoon, you're supposed to be creative or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think having two relatively headstrong people grading against each other.
Yeah.
I think that was handled very, very well.
Yeah.
Both by you two, and obviously I tried to make sure to put you in situations where there wouldn't necessarily be any actual character friction. Really just kind of like try and keep things soft enough so that your two characters could bicker organically and not just try and make it so that like, all right, this is going to be the one where Ozzy and Felicia fight. Didn't try anything like that. Didn't want to do anything like that.
Yeah, and like any kind of fight that did happen was always organic, or because like you said, like it's two characters grading against one another, and while they would sometimes get the other to see things their way or from their point of view, they're still very much rooted in who they are. And despite that, we're able to help out one another in very big, crunch times. Not every time, mind you. They've tried sometimes. I'd say about 70-30 they tried to help one another out, and the other 30% was like, you'll learn.
Yeah. And even the times where you were like, all right, we got to do this, fine. It was very much like, yeah, okay, fine. Like just giving up, like, fine, I'll do this.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah, like, all right, I guess I'm going to be screaming the whole time while I'm going to do this. And
fine, whatever, if you want.
Fine, whatever. And I think my favorite thing was just the dynamic they always had with the world around them as well. Like, Ozzy didn't care for, I should say, any of the showbiz or anything like that. He was just like, yeah, I'm here. Cool. What are you talking about anyway? And then just go about his day. And Felicia was very inviting, very welcoming, loved people, loved the spotlight. Whereas Ozzy's the kind of person who like doesn't know that he's a bull in a china. I forget the rest of that. I almost said onomatopoeia.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. I almost said Chinese restaurant. I'm like, well, that would also be terrifying.
There's lots of stuff to break in there too.
Right. But Ozzy's very much the spotlight's happening. Cool. He doesn't really pay attention to it, but also he will walk into it and then sometimes just hover there.
Yeah, just I'm so laser focused on this case. I don't care if I'm gonna step on somebody's foot to get there.
One moment that has stuck with me because it's become a vocal tick of mine, which should not be a vocal tick, is Felicia screaming, "I have a bomb."
Yes,
that has stuck with me. I just I'm imagining like SpongeBob screaming, and
Gary, this bomb's gonna go off unless you take a bath. Yeah,
yeah, I'm imagining like Felicia doing that while yelling, "I have a bomb." And there have been multiple times, not just like me streaming or doing content creation, literally at work yesterday, someone said, I have potatoes, because like they were talking about lunch, and I just like looked at them and I went to go say, "I have a bomb." But then I realized I shouldn't be saying that, especially at work.
Not in a public place.
Yeah. So
it's so good. I honestly, like, good on Navi for committing to screaming that out loud. I know she's doing it, in her home, but
it's so good though. Like that has stuck with me because it's so convincing, and it was just like, I'm going to keep doing this. I don't care. I have a bomb. Trust me. Yeah. Maybe if I will it into existence.
It was really good, and it was such a good way to kind of like punctuate the end of this, where, because obviously that starts pretty late in the campaign, where Felicia does have skills in explosives. Like, that's one of her skills. Hadn't used it at any point. And so, because we were kind of getting near the end, and Navi was like, I gotta make sure I use some of this stuff on my sheet. I think even before that episode, maybe Wolf, you hadn't joined the call yet, she had mentioned, like, I gotta get use out of this explosives skill. And,
Oh yeah, no, I didn't hear that at all.
and I think that might have been, like, something germinated in her head and maybe just activated when she realized she was sneaking up on a villain. So someone that she knows she would potentially want to blow up. Which I think is so good. Yeah, I love the Felicia bomb runner that we had at the end there. That became a little bit of a running gag.
Like, there's been quite a few of those moments. But
Yeah.
that one in particular is just...
I guess it also maybe somewhat replaced the whole "don't call me a bird" thing, because
Oh, yeah.
another great running joke.
Yeah.
Obviously loved leaning into that. I know Navi did that quite a bit. That is sometimes, because we record these, we plan every week, but there's often a lot of cancellations or delays. So sometimes it can be weeks, maybe even like a month or two before we record a session. So the whole "don't call me a bird" thing, maybe like Navi forgets about that. And then you're just immediately like,
Yeah.
You would mention, like, I'm not comfortable with this so early on, but it takes
Yeah.
so long for that message to stick.
But also, like, that kind of, like, works in a way, because at the same time, it works with the characters, because they're so rooted in who they are that it takes a lot for them to change. And come to think of it, I don't really think either one of them changed that much. They were very, like, yeah, we are these characters. Like, sure, Ozzy was, like, I think the only thing that really changed with him was, like, oh, I can be a family man a little bit with a phone.
Yeah. But that's like the start of something. There's going to be change in that dynamic. We're still at the beginning of it.
Yeah, and, like, who knows? Maybe Ozzy sees it more like a partner over time rather than just, oh, hey, this is my child. Because, in all honesty, he wasn't even viewing the other... Oh, wow. Why did I forget her name? Yeah. Like, he wasn't viewing her as like, oh, that's mom. Maybe I should, try talking to her, hitting on... No, it was just very much like a, oh, that's what you call her? Cool. Anyway, I don't believe in that family dynamic. I believe in mine, which is you, me, and...
shot of whiskey.
You know
you,
what?
me, and my hat.
You, me, and whiskey. That sounds like a country album.
Yeah.
Actually, hold on, real quick. Random thought that just hit. So country music, right? I feel like that's the only genre that only America has. Like, I can't think of any country music stars in, say, Europe or Australia or anywhere.
I'm sure they exist, but they're definitely just aping the American style. You're right that there isn't, like, European country that is theirs. It's just, I'm sure there are European artists who just mimic American country style. But yeah. I see what you mean.
Sorry, that just randomly hit. I was like, oh, huh.
It's random speculation. It'll tie into this discussion somehow about this season.
Oh, great. No, that was Duke. I was like, do we have any country? No, that was Duke.
I'm a country western star.
If I keep saying it, they'll believe me. It's like that Family Guy bit was like, if more people join in, the song won't get better. It gives that vibe.
Mm-hmm. Now, it should be said that obviously this, Felicia and Ozzy, I don't know if we'll return to their story. We've teased this before, but Wolfkaosaun is going to be DMing the next campaign we do, which means that, Ozzy definitely is not going to be a character. It does not sound like Navi is bringing Felicia in. It does sound like she wants to give Felicia a break, which is fair. We've been playing with her for a while.
Yeah, what, 97?
Yeah, about there, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
It's been 30 years.
It's been 30 years.
If we run this channel long enough, I'm sure we will return to Felicia and Ozzy, or, one or the other, who knows, but they're definitely going to be put on hiatus for now. I did want to make sure we did have stuff open at the end of this campaign, so that if we did return to them, we would at least have some jumping off points or stuff that we could be like, what happened in between now and then? Because obviously, the big thing with Ozzy was getting a daughter.
Yeah, that just kind of happened.
Yeah, not intending to, but just,
that's just how here we are.
That's just how the cookie crumbled. So obviously there's that, and then Felicia getting her partners back, but also kind of, we didn't really necessarily talk about this a lot at the end of the final episode, but considering her former boss, the studio she worked for, which was her job to get that job back, or that was her goal, But because the boss was so corrupt, it now seems like Felicia might be a little aimless as far as like, okay, what do I do now? I got my partners back, but what about my job? So that's something that...
I just thought of something that they could do.
Mm-hmm.
But should I say it out loud?
Let's save it.
Okay. I'm writing
Just in
it down,
case.
though.
Yes, you write it down. I'm sure if we ever return to Felicia, Navi and I will talk about that. Like, where do you think Felicia should go? Where should she start when we start recording stuff again?
It's good stuff.
This is good stuff.
But no, I like that idea I wrote down. If I could sticky note it, I would, but I can't.
Well, be on the lookout then for official Wolfkaosaun Live, Laugh, Loot fanfiction.
Oh, gosh. I don't think I should be in charge of that.
Well, yeah, because it's not fanfiction if you're officially involved with the project. It's just...
Well, no,
fiction.
I'll make a Tumblr about it. I'll make a fan fiction Tumblr for Live, Laugh, Loot, which will be... Oh, gosh, what would it be? Live, Laugh, Loot would be Love, Linger, Last.
Lollipops. Oh.
Love, Linger...
Loves Lingers Lost.
Yeah, there's something there. There's something there.
We'll get the fan cams, I'm sure. I mean, we already do.
Yes.
We're very popular. I get marketing emails from people all the time being like, hey, use my podcast promotion service.
Oh, yeah. And I just get emails from random barbecue places every now and then. I don't understand it. I really don't.
Well, you got to get that good grub.
You know, you're right.
But yes, apparently, according to this latest marketing email I got, apparently our podcast ranks number 6 on Apple Podcasts for TTRPG, which I think is questionable as it being true.
Is it everywhere or like in the US or?
It does not say, because surprise, surprise, the data I got from this email that's basically like, hey, use my tool, please, is limited.
Oh.
Apparently on Spotify, we're ranked 92 for TTRPG. Which sounds more reasonable, but that's just because I'm sure there are more than 91 podcasts about TTRPGs that are more famous than us, but we're actively releasing stuff, so...
Oh, yeah. Huh,
I'm sure that pushes it up.
I learned something new today. And the country music stuff.
We're figuring everything out today.
I get to learn.
I'm learning.
Oh, okay, Ralph Wiggum.
Hi, Super Nintendo-san. That sounds weird.
Wow. That does sound like it would be an alter ego, though.
I mean, it just sounds like I'm saying hello, Mr. Super Nintendo in Japanese, but that's not how you spell San in Wolfkaosaun.
Yeah, which I know I haven't talked about it very much, like on, the podcast, but San has always just been like how some people would call me, because my real name's Sean, so people would call me San when I was like young if they couldn't say the shh, and that just kind of like stuck in my brain when I was younger. And so when I made this whole name, I'm like, I'm gonna make San instead of Sean, and I made it Saun. Yeah,
Saun.
The more you know.
We're learning everything. I can update the Live Laugh Loot wiki now with that information.
I can't wait for Ozzy to get on Foot Wiki or whatever. What is it? Is it Foot Wiki?
Yeah, WikiFeet.
Oh, WikiFeet. Is that an actual thing? Hold on, I'm googling this. Okay, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't ask how I know.
How do you know? Oh, wait, no, you told me not to. I messed it up. I'm sorry. You have to start the whole podcast over.
Now I have to kill you, IRL.
But what about the game I'm working on?
Oh, all right. You can live long enough to do that.
Yay! It's never going to end.
There you go. That's the trick of it.
I just put us in the never-ending story. Hold on.
I was going to say, like, you're going to take that for season 2, aren't you?
No, but that did give me, like, a fun idea, though. Hold on. I'm writing that down, too. This is going under the Navi idea.
See, you're getting super exclusive stuff, listeners. This is exclusive.
ADHD.
Even I don't know about this stuff.
Oh, no, this pen is dying on me. No. Why are you the way you are?
Well, now you got to get a new pen or convince yourself that what you just thought of is not good.
Oh, wait, duh. I have a keyboard in front of me.
That would help.
Honestly, that is one thing about me, though, is I love writing notes down. Even whenever I do, like, my YouTube videos, anything I write down is all handwritten.
It's definitely good practice to do that. It's just better for the memory. Because keyboards are so impersonal as far as, like, remembering what you wrote down.
Yeah, like, it feels nice to go clicky-clacky, but at the same time, it's very out of mind very quickly. Or at least that's for me.
Yeah.
So I heard that there were questions.
Yes, we did ask for people to submit questions, and I do want to pose them to the people here. I did actually want to, before we did that, I have a few reviews of our podcast. Two, in fact. Or a review and a YouTube comment that I would like to read out.
Okay. Is it mine?
Yeah, you wrote both of them under pen names. I assume.
I knew I shouldn't have been writing on my computer screen.
Well, the thing is, you wrote these and you put your name as Wolfkaosaun, parentheses, this is my pen name, and parentheses. So I know it's you as a fake identity.
Okay. At least you know. I don't want everyone else to know, but okay.
We got a review here from Ryan DeGraw from Big Bow Media, friend of the podcast. Check out Big Bow Media and Big Bow Quest. They also do Space Kings. And I believe at the time we're recording this, they're just coming back from a hiatus because of technical issues. But check them out. But he left us a review on Apple Podcast. It's titled, I am living, laughing, and looting this podcast. Hang 10 emoji. LLL used to be one of the shows I listened to when I went to bed, and I just pick up from where I remembered the next day. I can't do that anymore because this podcast has woken me up laughing several times now. I can't even pinpoint when it found its stride, but I'm very excited for the future of this show, the current journey, and wherever they go in the future. Accept this very specific compliment and 5 of me finest stars. Thank you very much, Ryan.
I appreciate you.
Super cool. We started our podcast in March of 2025. And I think within a week, Ryan DeGraw and the team at Big Bow Media announced that they were starting a Space Kings podcast quest. It may not have been that soon after, but it was very, very close to around the time we started, which was super cool that we were part of a wave of Space Kings podcasts.
Yeah. Do the
It's
wave.
fun to see. Yeah, do the wave. Whoa.
Whoa.
Ryan,
Whoa.
you better have done the wave too, Ryan.
If you didn't, I am going to be very sad, actually.
Yeah, you're going to make Wolfkaosaun cry.
And that only happens on Tuesdays.
Yeah. But it was cool to see because I, like a lot of people, first learned about Space Kings because of the Pretend Friends podcast, which is co-run by Kevin Cole, the creator of Space Kings, and was kind of the first way the public knew about it. So it was kind of cool that we were kind of like part of a second wind for the game on the podcast form. Anyway, the second, I say review, this is a comment we got on YouTube on the last episode from Trashmancer0. Crying emoji. Can't believe it's over. The dancing, the drinks, the fatherhood, the fights, and forklifts. This has to be the best campaign about a smoking Struthio Camelus and a glamorous Picturata Vulpes I've ever listened to. Now, I think Trashmancer has just given us the scientific name for a cartoon fox there. Because Struthio camelus, I did look this up, that is the scientific name for common ostrich. Picturata vulpes is not a real species of fox. Vulpes is fox, but Picturata doesn't mean anything. I think he just invented a new bit of lore. So thank you, Trashmancer. I'm going to take that.
Yeah, because I like that name a lot.
It's very pretty. I'm going to take that, and Picturata is now the scientific name for tunes, and Picturata vulpes is cartoon fox. So thank you, Trashmancer, for adding to the lure. But they continue. Always sad to see characters walk into the metaphorical sunset, but can't wait for the next triple L adventure. Heart emoji. Fantastic show. Clap emoji, clap emoji, clap emoji. Thank you very much, Trashmancer.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
We appreciate you so much. We appreciate all of you for listening and watching and, leaving comments and just enjoying the show.
Yeah, just taking time out of your day to listen to a bunch of friends just be weirdos together. It means a lot. And, I hope that this has brought you joy at some capacity, whether it's like, oh, wow, that was a really funny moment, or wow, Wolfkaosaun, what the piss are you doing? What? And then you feel bad about yourself. She's like, I would not do that. But it's a lot of fun, and it's fun to create, but it's very fun whenever you're creating things together where you, obviously there's a little improv that goes into it, but it's very yes and I have a lot of fun with that. And knowing that people enjoy this is, honestly, it makes my day. So appreciate all of you.
Absolutely. I do know that there was a lot of, not a lot of stuff, but some stuff that just because of the way this campaign unfolded, I had created, or at least just sort of like floated the idea around that we never got to. Especially at the end with the Lucky Star Studios part, which, as you know, there were a lot of areas there. You didn't visit every single one of them.
Oh, I know.
I did want to clear the air about one thing, because I put the Wilbur's Wacky World in there.
That's the one I keep thinking of.
Yes. So I do want to make it clear right now. Yes, Sean did play the character of Wilbur from Wilbur's Wacky World in a previous campaign. None of that was recorded, of course, but we had kept referencing him. The intention in putting that Wilbur's Wacky World there, which was a place that I had sculpted out that you could have visited, I had a plan for it, but the Wilbur that you play was not there. So I would not bring back the actual Wilbur that Sean had played and developed without his say-so first. And we had not talked about that beforehand.
And also, like, I mean, you can tell that when that place is announced, I'm like, I want to go there. I want to go to Wilbur. But also, Ozzy doesn't care. So I'm not going to make him end up going there just because I want him to.
Yeah.
Now, granted, there was also the Nightmare place, and Ozzy was very much like, yeah, let's go there. That sounds fun. Because why not bring nightmares to life for Felicia?
Yeah. Why not do the roller coaster set piece that I had set up there?
Yeah.
Like I said, like every single point on that map that was marked, I had at least somewhat of a plan for, especially the big rides. So obviously there was a lot of stuff there. Even some stuff in the places that you went to that I was kind of like, okay, maybe we halt on this part because we're running out of time. Or like just to kind of keep the pacing going. I do regret that we never got to see the Flight of Fear VR coaster, like actually ride that. That would have been cool. But it is what it is. Good. GamingNavi just joined us. Welcome to the call.
Yes, I am really sorry for how long that took me.
No worries. You might remember GamingNavi from playing Felicia Fox on the Saturnine Nights campaign.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so I guess real briefly then we'll just talk with you then, Navi, because we had talked about, like, me and Sean had talked a bit about what we thought about this campaign. Well, I guess we'll briefly throw it to you then. Like, you got any cool, real big highlight moments or what you took away from this whole adventure?
My biggest takeaway was definitely just being able to feel so free and wild to do random shit as a cartoon character. Because like most other systems, it would very much be, oh no, you have to obey the rules, you have to do this, you can't actually go and do this. But like, in this instance, you literally said, you want to eat the bar, draw for it. And then I did.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Space Kings. It calls itself the improv role-playing game. It's very yes and. And you know that my DM style has been very much, I very rarely say, no, you can't do something. So I love, which I do think it's just like, if you have a crazy idea, you can try it. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, also great. We'll build off of that as well. I love being able to build off of your weird successes and when you fail at doing something that definitely shouldn't have worked.
Is great.
Yeah, like, it do be a good time. I was saying earlier how one of my favorite moments, Navi, it's become a vocal stim of mine, is you yelling, I have a bomb!
I have a bomb!
And that has stuck with me. Like, I almost say it throughout my everyday life. I almost said it the other day at work whenever someone was, like, saying, oh, I have potatoes or something like that. They were talking about food. And immediately, my intrusive thought was just to yell, I should not say that.
Good. No, I've officially done something like that to you now. You have ruined the song, I believe in life after love. I have now ruined the phrase, I have.
But I made it better, I thought.
Okay, you're 100% correct, you made it better, but now imagine being able to never hear a song again without thinking of you in goth emo attire raving.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I made a mistake.
For the viewers listening, go check out Wolfkaosaun's YouTube channel, watch his ukulele and the, Impossible Tower?
Impossible Lair, yeah.
Yeah, the Impossible Lair video. You'll know precisely what I'm talking about.
I didn't forget that was a thing, because that actually happens anytime someone subs. That's my dance whenever somebody subs on Twitch too, actually, fun fact.
That's awesome.
I had to mess with the song though, because you know how Twitch be.
I imagine.
Yeah. It was very fun being able to like actually kind of explore Felicia in this, because we mentioned this as well. Ozzy was completely new. Never roleplayed with him before starting recording this. Felicia, we had a few sessions. Really just kind of got a bit of a feel for the personality. We were not exploring any backstory or anything, which is why I'm kind of glad we were able to get into that during this campaign. And really great that we talked about this as well, that you two played characters who absolutely do not like each other, are very headstrong and pitting themselves against each other, and it never felt annoying.
Yeah.
They felt natural.
Yes, because it feels, a lot of your arguments are so petty. Like, it doesn't feel like there's any real malice behind a lot of it.
Like constantly calling him by his species name.
I know, it's something so ridiculous like that. It never felt too mean-spirited or, grating to listen to, which I felt was, you two did a great job balancing that.
Thank you. I definitely did my best to be a goofy cartoon character as much as I could, and it does make me happy to know I did a good job.
Gosh, I'm right, you did.
Yeah. Now would be a good time to transition then into the viewer questions, which Navi, you thankfully didn't miss any of these.
Oh, goody.
We did ask for any viewer questions. Let's answer them. Why not? First question we got here from Jade Callisto. What inspired you all to make that podcast to begin with? I think we had floated the idea, or maybe just referenced in passing, like we should record this while we were doing our first, like our Wilbur and Mazul campaign.
Yeah, it was definitely when Mizul was still around. It was, I think I suggested it, and like you, as soon as we finished up the main campaign, you said, hey, let's try it. You said, like, okay, we're all gonna open up Audacity, we're all gonna record stuff. I think I said, I don't remember that part fully. I just remember, like, as soon as the campaign was finished, you very much were on board with the idea of, like, okay, let's try it. We recorded, like, I think we recorded 1 or 2 sessions. I don't think we finished the entire, like, that entire post-game scenario.
No, we, basically did a test and then finished a mini campaign, more or less a quest. And then
we finished the mini campaign, but I don't think we recorded the entire thing.
No, just the first one.
Yeah.
And again, just more as a proof of concept. And that's kind of where it started.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, hey, we're having a lot of fun. And I think that's the biggest thing. And that kind of goes for content creation as a whole, is creating and having fun doing it. Like, sure, there's going to be days, not saying with this podcast, but like days that you create where it's like, man, and that feeling hits you.
For real.
But
that was me last night. I was supposed to be starting my Twilight Princess stream then, and like at 6:40 in the afternoon, I just felt so overwhelmingly tired. By the time I finished dinner, I was like, I can't do it. I'm gonna cancel my stream plans. I can't do this tonight.
Right. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I'm not forcing myself to, I'm allowing myself to relax. And then you're ready to go the next day because, again, it's for fun. And when you're having fun, you're more authentically yourself. And I think that's also something that we were able to do, where we were able to mix ourselves, like our thinking, like, okay, here's our thinking. How do I make this work with my character? Rather than like, oh, I'm thinking this, I'm going to make my character do this. Like, oh, I'm thinking this.
Or you just leave the call whenever GreyJ says he wants to tell the backstory.
Yeah.
That was a thing I started sporadically once and then just kept doing it. I am sad I couldn't have been here from the beginning, so I could have either joked about doing it one more time, but with how late it is, I don't think I could do that.
No. And if I do it now, I think, because I started the call, that might just end it, and then we all have to come back in. But maybe not, I'm not sure.
But yeah,
it does help that we all come from content creation backgrounds. We've all done scripted stuff, we've all live streamed. So the technical side of it, basically all covered. We all like hanging out with each other, that part's covered too. Just kind of a natural fit to broadcast this. It was definitely a little nerve-wracking for me, knowing that this was going to be public-facing. I think it turned out great.
It did.
I'm very excited to do more.
I'm glad we did this because I love doing like collabs and stuff with my. I always wanted to do like videos with just my friends because I wanted to have like a time capsule of the good times I spent with my friends. So I'm glad we did this because it's like, hey, yeah, here's a second thing, like an entire history of just me and a couple of my friends hanging out and having a good time for everyone to see. Everyone gets to see our weird, insane bullshit whenever they want, and we can look back and think, man, remember the time I ate an entire bar like Ed and Eddie? Remember how I completely cheesed and skipped out an entire boss fight by Mario 64ing him out of a tower?
I mean, at that point, we were just like, yeah, okay, I'll let you do this and wrap it up.
Yeah.
You don't have that much time left.
Remember when Ozzy used psychic powers to convince someone he was God?
Oh,
yes.
Well.
Which he did after contracting zombie rabies.
Yeah, good times.
Oh, good old Ozzy.
Remember when Ozzy was a horrible role model for a Stone Guard child?
I don't remember when he stopped.
He was never horrible.
Taught a small child how to make fires in the first session.
Yeah, and?
Let's just say there's good and bad. But it's a little weighted toward the bad influence.
I mean, whatever.
You found your redemption. You got a daughter that you are taking care of in your own way. Next question. 2 questions come from Hoodley. First question, how many sets of dice do you own? And 2, what other TTRPG systems have you played or looked into?
Okay, so you want to start that?
I can start that. So I have 5 sets of dice, just real simple, just all color-coded. And I also have a box here of 50 D6s, which are all color-coded, which I plan to use in this for more just like counting stuff, so just keeping track of everyone's health. Like everyone would be assigned a color and I'd keep track of their health or ammo or whatnot. Didn't really stick with that, but yeah, I just got a box of D6s over here to the left.
Nice.
Just looks very pretty. As far as TTRPG systems, Space Kings is the only one I have experience with. Only other I've played is half a session of D&D. It broke early, none of us were really into it. I've told this before.
As is with most D&D. I have 3 sets of dice. The first set isn't even like a complete set. It's a bunch of random dice I got from my old friends back in Boy Scouts who sold me a Star Wars tabletop role-playing set, and he just gave me a bunch of random dice that filled out the quota for the necessary dice set, but it wasn't exactly the same concurrent dice set. And then one of my friends, Miss Quinn, had sent me a care package one day, and it contained 2 sets of dice. One was like a very like nice blue and purple, and the other was like a brightish pink kind of thing. They're all glittery and stuff. And yeah, I played Space Kings here. I played a little bit of D&D here and there. Never played a full campaign session. Most of them all ended up in cancellation due to issues. Tried playing Pathfinder once. We didn't even get past character creation because as soon as that was already an abysmal story. I don't know if I've told you the story. It is a horrible story. But we went through hell one day to get just to character creation. And then by the time we had made our characters, I was excited. We canceled the entire thing. I have interest in doing the Cyberpunk 2020 system, and I'm not much of a DM, but I do have a very simple system based on tokusatsu heroes called Henshin, and yeah, that's basically all I got. I also played another system called Mutants and Masterminds. That was way back in college. I have an entire binder which contains all the rules and stuff. I don't remember much about it. I just remember remaking my Homestuck OC as a character in that. And that they were also a Power Ranger. So I had divine godlike powers, and then just for shits and giggles, I could transform into a superhero.
I love that. So for me, I've been running a D&D campaign for over 4 years now, 5e. And fun fact, I raw dogged it in the sense that I had played like maybe 4 or 5 sessions of D&D in general. It wasn't even like with the same people, but it was very much like, oh, we had, because I used to be in this group where we would play like an MMORPG together, and someone, like I was bringing up how I was playing GURPS, which is another TTRPG that I would play, but I was playing GURPS and I was bringing up D&D, and people were like, oh, I've never played, I've always wanted to, and some were like, oh, I haven't played since 3E, and so I just kind of took the initiative, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to make a game. And I've been doing that for over 4 years. Like I said, I played GURPS. That's the only D&D game that I've ever finished. And surprisingly, my character lived till well, let me rephrase that. He was the only one who lived, because he died once and got resurrected. Yay, Phoenixes. But he was the only party member left, which is I wasn't expecting that to happen. One day I'll tell that story because it's really cool how that happened. I've delved into a little bit of Pathfinder, and I've looked into Spelljammer as well. Obviously, Space Kings. I was looking to White Wolf RPGs, but I haven't really gotten far into those. And as for dice, so I started with 1 pair. I now have a bunch of different D20s, but I typically have 5 that I have. I have my DM dice, which is a big D20, but it has a Growlithe in the middle. I got it at Fan Expo in Philly a couple years ago. I have my first dice set, which I also roll for certain things. I have a dice set for my first NPC that I made. I have a dice set for my villains, and then I have a dice set for just random encounter stuff. I have 14 different D20s.
Yeah, so the answer is not enough dice.
And fun fact, my players made fun of me for this. When I started, because I only have like a couple like D4s and what have you, but when I started DMing, I only had 1 set of dice for like everything. So like you had one set for D4, and then I had 1 D6, 1 D12, all that fun stuff. And I put it in this plastic bag. And then I would end up getting some more dice here and there, and I put them in the plastic bag. And I had this Ziploc bag. I still have it, but I used that for my dice. And they're like, Wolf, please, for the love of all that is holy, can we please buy you a dice bag? And I'm like, I mean, if you really want to, but you don't have to. I mean, I'm fine using this. Like, Sean, no, this hurts to look at. I can see the crinkles in the camera. No. And also, another thing that I like to do is I sometimes take inspiration from other RPGs. Like, for example, in my D&D campaign, because there's like a rift in like time and what have you, I'm also including some Spelljammer enemies or including enemies from Pathfinder and what have you. So like kind of incorporating a little bit of that so like it keeps players on their toes, because I don't like, it also keeps me on my toes because again, I have like a D20 that I just roll for things and it's like, oh, I guess you now have a demon following you because, well, it's not that random, but like it's like, oh, you set up all this stuff and you're still touching the blade that you were told not to do, and you cut yourself with it. All right, here we go.
Yeah, homebrew it a little bit.
Oh yeah, gotta add your own ingredients every now and then.
Absolutely. I do some homebrew stuff for Space Kings. The main thing is counterflipping, which isn't necessarily a thing in the book. It's just a thing I like to do, is more or less kind of like the equivalent of D&D contests.
Yeah.
And I also homebrew a bit the death system, but that didn't come into play because none of you died. Came close.
Very close.
Oh yeah, don't worry.
Ozzy came close quite a bit.
We all came close to that near the final session.
That's true. All right. And then we also have quite a few questions from friend of the podcast, Ryan DeGraw. We read a review of his earlier. Yeah. Thank you very much again, Ryan.
Yeah, the real one.
He's got 10 questions for us.
Oh, joy.
Okay, answers yes, no, twice, 47, a little to the left, maybe once or twice. No, absolutely not. Actually, there's some lore behind that one. And then the last 3 are just kind of a see how I'm feeling. I don't even know if I did 7.
I'll field the last one. What you want to do is take all the money on your credit card and put it on another one. See, and then that tells the...
Infinite money.
Exactly. And so the debt goes to a new
Sims.
person. You set them up as a tax dodge and free money.
Oh boy, we can't legally condone this. We're gonna get in trouble. We can't break bad.
All right, no, Ryan's actual questions. First question, what would you have named each of the 4 proposed parts of this season? So to explain this, originally I titled these episodes like, well, Saturnine Night episode 1, but also like Quest Name Part 1. And then I realized that's super shitty for search. Everyone's going to be confused about that.
Yeah.
So that got dropped pretty quickly. The first ones where you were in the entertain-a-thon and you go to the fight ring were called Below the Belt.
Yep.
And then when you get to Sayonara Station, that was titled Sayonara Suckers. And then after that, it was dropped and I didn't think of the rest of them. So the answer is I don't have any initial proposals for that.
Okay.
Question 2, Disney is currently searching for a new CEO. Does that mean that they listen?
We can't say their name. The recording will just censor out your audio there.
Oh yeah, sorry. Schmizny is currently searching for a new CEO.
Not Lucky Star Studios looking for a new CEO.
But if they are looking for a new CEO, I have a position available. Question 3, will Ozzy and Felicia spelt wrong, in fact, return in Avengers Doomsday?
Well,
we can answer this
Felicia is, but... Darlings, Felicia is never away from the silver screen for long.
Yes, and both of you will be played by Robert Downey Jr.
What? I can't even pick my casting? Because I was going to say Scarlett Johansson, because she got to drop Widow. We can't be playing for the vibes here.
What is Robert Downey Jr. playing?
Scarlett Johansson playing Felicia. It's like Tropic Thunder.
God.
I'm a dude dressed up as a woman pretending to be another girl.
It's also a cartoon fox.
Oh man, Robert Downey Jr. is gonna do cartoon face? Ugh.
Ugh. Time to cancel his career, guys.
Yeah. It's a quick answer is yes, they will appear in Avengers Doomsday.
Good.
Warning, the preceding statements have not been legalized by Disney.
Yes.
Well.
Or anybody. The preceding segment should not have been allowed to air. We apologize.
Speak for yourself.
Just a little record break sound, play that sound clip, and then just continue on.
Do we just hear some fist fighting and then it continues with 3 different voices? Like, yes, hello, we are Live Laugh Loot Men.
Hello, this is Wolfkaosaun.
Oi, this is Princess Navi, shut the fuck up.
And it's me, Cloud Connection.
Oh, what's that? Cloud Connection's not dead? I thought he was dead.
He's going to no date, you fucking cunt.
Wait, don't go making fun of my fucking accent.
Yo, guys, you're not being able to do the voices very well. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. You're not doing different accents. You gotta do theirs. You see how I'm being Wolf Cow? That's how you do it.
I'm speaking the way I've always been talking, you daft cunt. I probably shouldn't have said that on the tilt card in.
It's okay. I also listen to Daft Punk, but man, I need a new agent.
Hi, I'm back. It's GreyJ again.
Hey, yeah.
Oh, hey.
Navi's back. I claimed my mic back.
I never left. I've always been an actor.
We've never met if we're a Wolfkaosaun.
Now we'll just unmask him and see who this ghost really is. Wolfkaosaun.
Oh my god, it's Robert Downey Jr.? Of course, after quitting the Avengers movies, he's been struggling to find relevance, so he traveled back in time to become a YouTuber.
I like he just struggling to become relevant made Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer didn't do well. We all know that.
I forget he's in that movie entirely for some reason.
Honestly, I don't really like his character in that one. No shade against him. It's just like, why are you here, Robert Downey?
When we look at a post-Endgame world, do you like forget? Does people remember he did a Dr. Dolittle movie? No, most people don't, because that was the state of his career. He was just sort of bouncing between stuff, and that's why he's back. Okay, I'm gonna stop this topic before it just becomes three nerds talking and ranting about Marvel. There's enough of that already. Let's answer the podcast questions.
Yeah. Question number 4, we had already kind of talked about before this. Will we return to Ozzy and Felicia's story in the future? The answer is maybe. I'm definitely down to bring them back.
Yes,
but
I'm definitely down to, as I said earlier, Felicia is always going to be very close to my heart. She's never going to stray too far off the silver screen. Same time, I'm not sure if I'm going to want to return to her for a little while. I'll need to change things up. And, you know, I can't open up 5 more Google Chrome tabs every single week just so I can get all my 1930s through 50s slang prepared.
Yeah.
I gotta have more time to try weird stuff.
Exactly. Obviously, we left this season where there's threads where both of them can go. But, the answer is maybe, but not soon. Question number 5. Gray, is there any NPC that was a self-insert / this is who I'd be playing if I was a player character in this season?
Ooh.
Closest thing would probably be the Juggernaut. I think just because as far as if I was creating this as like a character sheet, because NPCs in Space Kings don't have the same character stats, they don't have full sheets, even the important ones. Juggernaut's probably the closest I would have to be like a fully formed character, like, okay, they would have these skills and such. But I haven't thought about them to that degree. I have always kind of thought of them as an NPC. They were created for this campaign as an NPC. And there was no other character that was just like, I'd play as this. In fact, I do have for next season 4 characters that I had been bouncing back between on. None of them are anything like what I've done for this season.
I vibe with that.
Yeah. Question 6, did you have to re-record anything this season?
Yes, first session.
Yes.
You sent me a message like the next day saying, hey, can you hop on a Discord call with me tonight and help me re-record some stuff because your audio, initially I think it was like the initial voice filter I was using through voice mod was kind of trash.
So, well, the initial voice mod, was kind of, the first 2 episodes, Navi did a voice mod. And then we were like, let's do this in post, which worked out better.
Yeah,
but the thing is, before Felicia started talking, I think Navi accidentally left a voice filter on that we didn't catch because it wasn't going through Discord, but it was on your recorded audio.
Yes, I remember that. So you had me sit down one day and say like, hey, could you say these lines over again on a call with me? And I did.
Yeah. Thankfully, it was just Navi saying little things. It was not like any actual Felicia lines, so it kind of worked out. And then I had to re-record a few things on my end, some of it just so I can get a transition in case we cut episodes a little different. And there was one instance where I had to re-record a full 5-minute stretch of my own audio because of those mic issues I mentioned I was having. So I had to record a full 5 minutes. You can definitely hear it. It's in episode 17. There's like a 5-minute stretch where you can definitely hear my audio sounds a bit different, and I also sound less like I'm talking on a call and more like I'm reading lines off a script. But with that, because at least I could hear what Navi had said, even though she needed to re-record it, for the minute stretch, we lost that audio completely. I had to remember what I had said, or at least try and get close. That was annoying. But thankfully, besides that, no need to re-record. We didn't have to re-record any full episodes, thankfully. That would have been a nightmare if we had to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Number 7, what was each of your favorite moments in Saturnine Nights? We kind of talked a little bit about like fun bits. I'll start. There are 2 boss fights that I really, really love. The first Juggernaut fight, where you two were in the ring and you got clobbered.
Yep.
And the fight at the end against Bobby Lambino, because that's the one where he shot Loco with a K and Felicia tried the bomb tactic and then pulled his pants down. That one was so chaotically fun. I loved bouncing back and forth between both of you on that.
Yeah. It's my favorite moment. There's lots of them. Just because I got to be a cartoon character, so there's lots of my own moments I want to sit around and talk about, like how I mentioned eating the entire bar, or doing ridiculous, dumb stuff like that. Is defying the laws of physics, doing gear 3s, so much stuff. Even like temporarily dressing up as other people and trying to pretend I was them. Good times.
Yeah, I liked. Well, I didn't last super long because I probably would not have liked it as much as I did. But I liked whenever I had zombie rabies for a little bit, and it's like, wow, I'm a disgusting creature. But also, everyone's afraid of me and now respects me more. Cool. And then obviously, having some of those weird, wholesome moments with being a parental figure despite not being a good role model. That was fun. And just going into people's minds and just, hey, I'm your god. Obviously trying to use the telekinesis to now that I think about it, I don't think Ozzy missed a lot of shots. He just didn't have a lot of shots.
Yeah. It wasn't so much that you weren't good at fighting and shooting. I think it's just...
I always got knocked out.
Yeah, you invited so much damage on yourself that you weren't able to capitalize all that well, just because you didn't have the opportunity.
Yeah, but that's fine, because I think that just adds to his character. It's more so like wow, he truly is a glass cannon. He just comes in, ostrich. Like, whenever freaking he was... Wait, did he have piloting?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, because he ended up driving that car and was like, oh, okay, I can do this. But he was also so bad health that, it just oh, this one thing bumped me and I'm knocked out and we're crashed.
Mm-hmm.
Just the next hanging out in the car now, yeah.
You're good at it, but fate says you gotta fail at it.
Yeah, that car crash also sticks with me. Because I'm just imagining
So
good times.
Next question, Gray, what moment went the most off the rails from your plans as a GM? Because I tended to fly this one a little bit by the seat of my pants, I'd obviously drafted kind of the initial setup and what would get them into the mystery and the crime angle. After that, it was more just kind of, I'd set up something that this is where they're going to go, this is what could happen for the next session, and then just kind of molded based on that. So not a lot of things that I would say went off the rails. I'd say the biggest thing was there was an entire location we didn't end up visiting just for time's sake, where before you all went to Lucky Star Studios, you would have been directed toward a big mutton mouth hideout and kind of deal with that, and you would have dealt with Bobby Lambino's side a little bit earlier. But then I realized as we were kind of getting to that point, I was just I gotta modify this. We gotta condense this down. So that ended up kind of being combined in one, which I think worked out. So I wouldn't call it off the rails.
Yeah.
If you didn't railroad us at the beginning, I can think of a lot more things that would have happened because we would have tried skipping the cosplay contest entirely.
That's true. That I definitely railroaded kind of hard.
But we even acknowledged it.
Yeah.
I feel like Ozzy still would have done it.
It was also more just figuring out the characters. I designed that thinking oh yeah, Felicia will be into that. Nope. That was a misread on my part.
You misinterpreted how much of a diva she was.
I think so.
Don't we all?
But also the thing was okay, I knew after the big fight at the beginning with the Juggernaut, the next place I was going to direct you to was to get to Sayonara Station. You were always going to go there. That was the next part of it. It just so happened that because you two got knocked out in the fight, I could just bring you as prisoners to the station and we can skip past the whole how do we get there part, which, that kind of worked. Okay, question 9. Less of a question, but Gray, tell us about your prep ahead of this season. So as I mentioned, I did kind of do this one semi on the fly. I had an outline of where I thought it could go, but the only thing that was really kind of I really wanted to prepare going into the first session was the first big area that, they really nail down the entertain-a-thon and what that could do and what I'm meant to be leading the players to and all that. And from there, I would then take the time to prepare, okay, they've done all this at the entertain-a-thon. This is where I want them to go, or this is where I think they could go. What makes the most sense? What would be the most fun given the character development we've had so far? So it was less about prepping ahead of time and more about prepping in the moment. For example, the fact that Blob Iger was our endgame villain, that I had not planned. He was not the planned big bad, not until we kept riffing on him as the CEO of Lucky Star Studios, and suddenly that just kind of made him morph into the final antagonist.
Nice. So who was the original big bad supposed to be?
It was probably still going to be someone higher up from Lucky Star Studios, a boss of some kind, if not the CEO. And that was always intended. I always intended for someone from the company to show up, if not necessarily for the final encounter, at least for a big confrontation with Felicia along the way. And because Blob Iger just fit into that role so well, it was basically just perfect. We basically created the antagonist from more or less nothing, just a joke that I said or someone said in one of these sessions, and we're just like, it's got to be him.
Just like, oh, found it.
Yeah. All right, final question, question 10. Does Wolf have any teasers for Season 2?
Ooh. So I have 3 ideas. It depends on how everyone's feeling, how they want the game to go. I have one that has more of a serious, I wouldn't say dramatic, but just has more serious tone that I have an idea for. I have one that's very, we went to go buy milk and now we're on Jupiter trying to protect the planet from devastation. Not that entirely, but something along those lines where it's like, we just kind of got roped into some very chaotic thing that we're not intended to be here for. What? And then I have another one where I won't go into detail, but just know that it will be a very fun surprise if we do it. So I came up with those 3 ideas because I write down ideas all the time. You heard that earlier in the podcast. I literally have I have a notebook next to me. But so I came up with these 3 different ideas. I'm like, okay, well, let's see how they're feeling. What kind of characters do they want to make and what have you? And then I build off of that. So what I will say, though, there's a polar bear. That's your teaser. There's a polar bear. All of them have one polar bear.
There's your exclusive reveal then. It's there's going to be a polar bear. I should also point out, at the time we're recording this, we haven't discussed our player characters for Season 2 as a group. So, Wolf, you probably wouldn't have had the chance to get a feel for what of your ideas would be a good fit for who we're playing as. Obviously, we haven't talked about them.
Oh, yeah.
So that part's still kind of up in the air.
Yeah. I have a canvas with a couple outlines drawn, but I don't have everything filled in yet. So it's like, okay, let's fill this in together. Okay, I'm going to put that there, that there, that there, that there, that there. Cool. It's like putting puzzle pieces together while also drawing. This is just an ADHD mess, and I love it.
Yeah,
great. Well, that's all the questions, and I think it's about time we wrap this up. Thank you, everybody, for watching this first season. It was super fun to make. Hope you had a great time listening to this. We will be back with Season 2 sometime later this year. I can't really be any more precise than that right now, but that is the plan. We'll see you next time, though, in space.
Space King.
Yes.
Thanks for listening to Live, Laugh, Loot. We're currently using the Space King system, developed and published by SuperTry Studios. You can learn more about this game or buy it yourself at supertry.itch.io/spacekings. Follow us on Blue Sky at livelaughloot.bsky.social or email us at livelaughlootpodcast@gmail.com. Our intro music is Out of Control by Chill Carrier, and our outro music is One Point to Another by Rocket Max. See the episode description to find out what other songs played this episode or to check licensing information. To learn more about this podcast, check us out at livelaughloot.card.co. That's livelaughloot.card.co.